Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Stayfhomekins.
This is a podcast for you.
A podcast for you, Lydia. Do you remember that from the Fisher King?
No. Where?
We came up on freedom. I think about it a lot. Did you ever see the Fisher King?
Like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like Mercedes Rule and stuff.
Yes, Mercedes Rule, Jeff
Oh,
Bridges.
Kevin Kline.
What?
Isn't
Is he
Kevin?
in
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of a fish called Wanda.
that?
All right, anyway.
So what if they were all together in one giant fish movie?
Listen.
Robin Williams
Are we,
and Michael Jeter, who is the little guy
baseball
from...
player?
No, that's Derek Jeter.
Are we going to say what this is?
This is Stayfhomekins. It is a podcast where a married couple. My name is Paul F. Tompkins. I'm a
He's
comedian.
a comedian. I'm Janie.
She's an actress.
Together. We're married.
We're married. We have
We're
podcasting
staying home
equipment.
together
And
in
here's
a
what we're doing.
Fucking pandemic.
Yes.
We're bringing the fucking pandemic right to you.
Hey, do you live in a country where it's not a thing anymore? Guess what? It's still a thing here.
Still a thing in the
Sorry, New Zealand and Australia. South Korea.
So gel.
So gel.
So gel.
I'm so gel of places that don't have a pandemic. Anyway, we're starting early, a little early. Well, we're
starting late.
behind schedule, but we're starting. Usually, we have dinner first, and then we record.
Oh, I thought it was 8. It's not even okay. I don't know what.
So you're saying we don't have to be doing this right now?
No, I want to be doing it because I think I feel like it's midnight.
Yes, you had a very long day. You got up in the dark.
Yeah, I worked on a commercial today. Well, all this week, essentially. That's not exciting. It's boring.
It's not boring.
It's like, I'm tired, whatever.
But
Who cares?
This was your first
Who
time
cares?
back. So what? Who cares?
So what? Who
You know,
cares?
Fred Armisen's Joy
Yeah,
Behar.
yes. So what? Who cares?
That's in my head a
No,
lot.
that's a good one. That
is going. So what? Who cares? Anyway, Michael Jeter and the Fisher King.
Maybe I didn't see. Oh no, I did see it. Is like Robin Williams, like kind of like homeless or something.
He's kind of homeless.
We say unhoused now. That's not.
right.
You know.
Yes.
But when Fisher King was made, they probably called them hobos or something. Because that was like a long time ago.
I think that was the beginning of homeless, of saying homeless.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that word was ever said in the movie. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll probably. Who knows? You pull up these old movies, then all of a sudden something hits you. Some
You ever
word.
see Gone with the Wind? They don't use the word homeless in that movie.
Like that Breakfast at Tiffany's, and then there's like somebody like doing whatever.
Boy,
That's not good.
Crazy jarring. Mickey Rooney and Breakfast.
I haven't seen
We're
that
not going to
movie in
post
a
a
long
picture of that.
No, we can post a picture of beautiful Audrey Hepburn,
Or handsome George Papard.
or the cover of the song "Breakfast at Tiffany's." I said something. I kind of like it, and then you said "Breakfast at Tiffany's." Remember that one?
I mean, that was
Boy, Paul is making some faces.
that was
y'all.
a beautiful cover in
Paul's
itself.
making some faces. I wish this were a TV show because then you could see what was going on over
Do you think
there.
if it were a TV show, we would still sit directly across from each other?
I hope so.
Who did? Was it
I hope so.
William Shatner did that talk show where the people sat on couches. They sat on like a love seat that was like an S shape. So they were sort of
I hate
leaning over the
those.
back. Leaning
hate
over the
those.
back, looking at each other.
If someone has those and I'm saying I hate them and I'm offending you, I apologize.
Hey, everyone's got their different furniture tastes. Furniture taste is not something you're born with. It's something you acquire. So it's not.
I just don't want to.
It's not horrible to say that.
I don't want to crick my body around.
I don't want to crick everybody. Crick your body.
Oh my God, y'all! Paul's back at freedom. I don't know if you can tell, but he's got the he's doing the freedom mode on me. But that's cool.
I am a
like
little bit
it.
of. I'm also a little. I'm hungry, so I'm a little.
I'm fucking
lightheaded.
hungry.
I think. Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna get drunk from a sip of. We
Oh,
ordered.
boy.
Okay, so here's what happened. Here's what happened. I cook. Period. So there was no dinner when I got home, so we had to order.
She was pissed. She came in. She was like, "Where's my fucking dinner?
Hey,
You sit around eating bonbons all day."
I fucking go out and work, and then I come home with, is it so much to ask for like a hot plate of food or something? Or what?
No, that's.
I take my hand, and I don't. It's not open face. It's the back. It's the back part of my hand, and I fling it across Paul's cheek, and then he takes both of his hands, and he puts them up to his cheek, and cries.
I feel like you're referencing something very specific.
A scene from that kind of situation.
Sure, from a kitchen sink drama.
Yes, like, yeah,
About real people.
Come on, woman. But I wouldn't
Come
be
on,
the.
woman.
I'm not the man and woman. It's the other way. I'll just be like, "Come on, man. Come on, man. Where's my fucking dinner?"
Do you remember when
this
we saw
is
that?
explicit. Sorry, Aunt Phyllis.
We saw that English production of Streetcar Named Desire where everyone was doing their American accent. Their Southern
They're
accents.
New Orleans.
But I didn't think you would come here.
And then they were doing like the sort of like New Orleans that kind of sounds like Brooklyn.
Although, you know what?
Brooklyn-y.
Now I'm remembering most of the people were American.
No, it was only Gillian Anderson.
And Ben Foster was American.
Oh, right.
But it was our friend from The Crown.
I forgot about him.
Played Stella.
Oh, yeah. She's a sexy mama.
She's a sexy mama.
She played Princess Margaret. Her name, I know her name, and it's escaping me at this moment.
Me too.
But she was in, first of all, The Crown.
Couldn't love her more. What could her name be?
The Crown is awesome. The Crown on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, what are you waiting for?
It's extremely watchable, that
It's
show.
not just, no. Watchable, I feel like, is tepid.
Mm-hmm.
It is awesome.
It's
so good.
It's very good television.
It's so good. It's so good with good writing.
But here's the thing. There's always a time, there's always a moment in every episode where I'm like, this is insane that this exists, that these people,
Sure.
that this is a thing.
It's a
that's the
biopic
subject
about people
of a
who are
television
still
show.
like alive, for the most part,
and that are still living this way. Like
Yes.
it's wild.
We are so like obsessed with royalty
It's
in America.
bananas.
Don't you think in America we have sort of like
Yes,
this
well,
fascination?
we're royal watchers.
We're royal watchers. I mean, leave Meghan
If the
Markle.
crown counts.
Leave Meghan
Leave
Markle.
Meghan alone.
Oh, I can't tell you how furious I get. Oh, cuckoo. Cuckoo's
you're
coming
just in time.
Are you going to eat on the podcast?
We're gonna. Don't jump the gun. We're gonna sample something.
Oh, you're for guns now?
Wow. Even Cuckoo
For
made
the
a hasty
record-
retreat after
For
that.
the
one.
record, I do want to take all y'all's guns.
Yes, I think you
For the
put
record.
that on the record already.
Oh, I have?
I believe you have. Yeah.
I can't believe Obama didn't do it. Because
Really?
that everyone
No one's
said.
ever gonna do it.
No, everybody said Obama's going to take
All the people that didn't want it to happen said that.
I.
And they ruined his plan. He was like, they figured it out.
He also never triggered his sleeper cell.
I know. There's still time. There's still time for Obama to trigger the Sharia law sleeper cells. All right.
Anywho, Zulz,
Yes.
what? So
No, you
Beat change?
started with the any
the
hoozles.
Crown. Oh, because you wanted to. I could tell there was like a shift. There was a shift.
I don't know that whatever it was.
You're
it's gone.
saying the crown is cray cray. And
yes.
I was going to say the people who go after Meghan Markle, what is your freaking problemo?
The racism.
What is it?
Yes.
It's just that.
Why else would anyone care?
I don't know. Remember at her wedding and that one relative wore like a racist brooch or something? Like some
yes.
Aunt Jemima something or whatever?
Yeah.
That was messed up.
Yeah.
That was messed
Agreed.
up.
Agreed.
And then the whole drama with her dad, and it just it's too much. I want Meghan to have peace, and I'm worried. I'm worried because it's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. And she already was fine living sort of in a public eye situation because she was an actress on a TV show. But This is a whole set. This is a different situation. I mean, what do you think? Do you have an opinion about that?
I think that they did the smart thing and they moved away from England.
Well, I know, but they can't really get away from it.
No, they can't. But it's a weird, I feel, well, that's the thing is that I feel bad for you. You do feel bad for people that are just born into this absolutely ludicrous life.
Service. You're
service is being, I think, very generous.
It's almost
sorry if I'm looking down my nose at the monarchy.
No, here's what's so weird about it. It's like a service job in a way because you are performing this public role, but it's a service job that's essentially pageantry.
Yes, exactly.
So you're born into showman life. You're born in into the circus.
Yes.
And there's only one actor, and that's you. That gets to do it, right?
Well, you have your family of fellow weirdos.
It's a very strange, and I get people in England, they're oh, it's such a dinosaur, and it's all this money, and it shouldn't this and that or whatever. And I get that. But on the other hand, it is this uniquely sort of British, I don't know, it's like baseball and apple pie or something over here. Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people do love the tradition of it, but it's absurd.
It's weird.
It's absurd.
So back to The Crown, the show itself.
Uh-huh.
It is I think it's one of the best shows ever made. It's so beautifully shot. I mean, it is.
It is beautifully shot. I think it's
acted really well.
I really enjoy the show. I think it is acted very well. I don't know. It doesn't for me. It's not. It doesn't stay with me after I watch it the way some shows do.
What I think is interesting about it, and maybe this is just me, is sort of there is this narrative of the patriarchy kind of locking her into this kind of impotent place.
A velvet prison.
And she wasn't really educated, and it was it's just a strange, it's not empowering. You think, oh, she's a damn queen. But it's not.
No, and they're trying to.
They are trying to show all the different layers of it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the Crown review.
I mean, I don't know. I have enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the seasons coming up.
I am too.
Imelda Staunton, I believe, is playing.
Yes.
The later
present
years.
Day.
Yeah.
The queen we know. Our queen.
Yes.
I need to make a correction. I wanted to do this at the very top of the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know about this.
Last week, you talked about brain plasticity And I immediately scoffed at that and said elasticity.
Yeah, you got pwned. And
then it was pointed out to me that I was completely wrong.
But actually, both are correct.
Well, here's the thing. I went to look it
separate.
up. I went to look it up because I was like, I thought I had heard that somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it refers to something else. So I was trying to look up the term that I thought I knew, and every result came back brain plasticity.
Wait, but the one brain scientist that wrote to us explained.
Was this an email?
I think it might have been an email.
Mm-hmm.
He or she. I'm sorry. We got a lot of emails this week, by the way, and it was awesome.
Were they all telling me that I was wrong?
That would be my dream, but no.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
I'm just kidding.
There's still time.
No, but he was saying how brain plasticity refers to when the changes in the brain that become constant, and brain elasticity are the changes in the brain that, I guess, like morph back.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So the plasticity is like when it changes to a new form, and the elasticity is when it morphs and changes back into its. I think
like the gum Razzles.
Maybe. I don't know about Razzles. Do we
You
have
don't know
gum?
about Razzles?
I love gum, by the way. My dream is to do some gum acting, like gum chewing acting, and I haven't gotten there yet. And like I've been like, I'm gonna do this audition like chewing gum or whatever, and it only worked like on one thing. I was playing on one audition for Army Wives. Never booked Army Wives.
Oh yeah, Army Wives.
And I was playing this tardy little
strumpet
in a bar, and I was like, "Look at you! You look like you're a Marine."
Marine.
I don't know. Marine or Army. It was Army, not Marine. That's probably why I didn't book it, because I got the wrong military.
You said Marine like Borat, and they were like, "Get out of here."
I thought I did good. Whatever. I also used a lip gloss in that one, but that's the whole other. It's a little business. I do not.
It's a fun peek behind the scenes.
No, why I did not book that. But what is Razzles? Because that doesn't sound like something that's alive today.
Razzles, I doubt it.
Wait, is it like Pops? Like
no,
okay,
not Pop Rocks. Razzles was like a candy that turned into a gum. Which essentially was just a gum. It was a round gum.
It's like remember like there were sort of like Jawbreaker ones that had gum in the middle, right?
Yes. These were not those. I remember those from like the gumball machine.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of, is gumballs?
No, I'm thinking of like a Jawbreaker that melted into gum. A gum reveal.
The Prestige.
By the way, Jawbreakers are so good.
You had a problem. I think we talked about it.
No, I had the problem with the atomic fireballs. That's the whole. Not as good for your digestive tract. Just take it. Just trust me on this one. Just trust me on this one. I probably how I messed up my GI system for life.
I hope that's not true.
Wait, they were atomic. The atomic fireballs.
Yeah, but Razzles were like a round. They were like a disc.
Oh
and
no!
You
never had those.
I think you could. You could suck on them like a mint, sort of, or you could chew them into the gum. But I feel like they were just gum. It was just round gum. And then there was something called bottle caps. Which,
I remember bottle caps.
Yeah, what were they? Were they the same thing, or what would they do?
I don't remember what they were, but I remember their existence. So I'm not good at explaining them. But you made me remember. Remember the candy that was just a wax shape of something, and then there was like Kool-Aid inside of it, and then you chewed it to like release the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
What the
fuck was
like
was
that?
Little bottles.
Not good.
No, not good.
Not good.
I could get a glass of Kool-Aid if I wanted it.
You're supposed to just spit the wax out after? Like what?
It was very confusing.
It was like the kind of wax that you get.
Such a Depression-era candy.
It was like the kind of wax where like you had to make a mold of your mouth for like a like a night guard. It was like that. Yeah. Someone had like a night guard, and they're like, "What if we fucking put some Kool-Aid in this and made it a candy?"
What?
And like shaped it into a glass.
Like they were high. Some bros were high. Like, whoa, what if we made a candy out of some night guard?
Yeah.
What if we put a tiny eyedropper of Kool-Aid inside?
It is. It's so lame. Oh, it is like sort of like the candy time of year.
Well, it's spooky season.
What is your favorite candy that no longer exists?
I remember loving the first thing that came to my mind. Oh, this is like Proust Madeleine. Was the marathon bar.
Wait, that's what I was gonna say. You took mine.
I'm sorry.
That's my favorite candy that doesn't
They were
exist.
so good, and they were such a ripoff. It was a chain.
They were longer though.
Come on, honey. My mom called it.
And your mom said it was a ripoff?
It's less candy.
What? That's a buzzkill.
It's all holes. It's like essentially it was like a double helix of
I remember
caramel.
It looked like a pretzel
coated in chocolate,
but kind of like a pretzel.
It was like long, but it was long.
It was long and a half. Okay, and then if it was like warm and not like refrigerated, and you took a bite and you pulled it away, there was like a long string of caramel. Yes.
But they called it marathon, and they sold it as if it was
like a
longer lasting candy bar. And it's like it was mostly air. It was,
but in a way,
amazing marketing.
In a way, like
Triumph.
Rolos have a similar vibe.
My dad loved Rolos.
I know. I remember that. Rolos were his favorite.
Yeah.
And Rolos are good.
Look, you're not going to get me on the record saying Rolos are not good because they are.
I will say this: in my recollection, the chocolate in marathon bars had a creamier situation than like Rolos have kind of a grainy chocolate. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. That's not what comes to mind when I think of Rolos.
Well, I still like Rolos. Don't get me wrong. Rolos are great.
Of course.
You know what are so good? You get them like at truck stops or whatever. They're like those caramel.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
The flat round caramels, and inside in the middle of the donut shaped caramel is like a white, like
chalky cream,
weird cream, and they're like on a flatbed of. Those things are so freaking good.
We used to call them caramels when I was growing up.
Oh, is that like your regional?
Yeah.
I guess I've heard caramel.
Yeah.
I'd say caramel. That's all very regional, though. By the way, caramel, caramel, whatever.
What was the last one? Caramel?
I don't know. Take the New York Times dialect quiz, because that's one of them.
Sometimes I see them at the supermarket.
Oh my god!
And it's all I can do not to get them.
I like them when they're like,
but they're not the same. They're like these are like a sort of gourmet version of those.
Yeah, no, you need.
I want the original
I like the
one.
kind that like they almost kind of taste like they've been on the shelf like for 20 years.
Yes, absolutely.
Like they're kind of like a little stale.
Yeah.
But kind of chewy. Like you have to work your jaw. Like
yeah.
And then like you might
not as much work as a Milk Dud, but close.
Oh, Milk Duds are really good. That's why I have terrible teeth.
Here's the thing. No one would ever guess that you have terrible teeth because your teeth look nice. But no one would guess.
I sucked my thumb.
Insane landmine.
And I sucked my thumb until I was 18. So I have that.
A
really bad overbite.
There's someone I follow on Twitter, Matt Johnson, an author.
What's funny because we know another Matt Johnson.
It's true.
That
this
is a
not
filmmaker.
Him.
Yeah.
This is a 1T Matt.
Yeah. I think I know that Matt Johnson too. From Twitter though, not in real life.
And he posted a picture of these cookies.
Okay.
From my childhood, these ginger snaps. These are Ivan's.
I've never seen those in my
Ivan's
life.
ginger snaps.
Never
this
heard
box
of them.
is so iconic to me.
Oh, we're gonna have to post a picture.
Yes, we will, of course.
You're gonna give me one?
Of course I am, honey. California state law.
What am I?
50-50. So these are ginger snaps.
Okay.
And I grew up with these.
Yeah.
These were like we had these.
Ginger
these were
snaps
seasonal.
are really good.
We had them all the time. Every year we had these. And I haven't had one of these in such a long time.
They smell really good.
Oh my God! What a
wait! I will say, like, why are ginger snaps and gingerbread in general? Why is that seasonal?
I don't know.
But
I think
they are so autumnal smelling.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Am I supposed to taste it now?
Yeah, sure.
It's good. It's good.
It's exactly as I remember it.
I really like the box. It does look like a vintage,
Hasn't changed in forever.
It's an orange box with black print, and there's like a weird face.
Terrifying little chef on there.
Yeah, what is his deal? He kind of has a Chef Boyardee vibe. Or am I remembering Chef Boyardee differently?
Chef Boyardee was more human looking.
What does it say?
Ivan's famous spiced wafers.
They're really good.
IVINS, yeah.
Ooh, it'd be good with
God,
coffee.
man, this is
good with coffee in the morning. Come
I'm
on.
so excited about this.
This
is such a great autumnal treat.
Speaking of like,
I'm glad that you like it.
Well, yeah, it's gingerbread. Although sometimes you have a gingerbread cookie and it's like feels stale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do like a fresh gingerbread loaf with a little powdered sugar on it.
You know what?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You know what I like? I like a fresh gingerbread loaf with a little powdered sugar on it. And that's all. And then I'm set.
I think it's good.
All you do is I'm easy. Here's what you do: give me a fresh gingerbread loaf, a little powdered sugar on it. I'm set for the day.
Who's that?
And then walk away.
Who are you?
I don't know.
Who are you being?
I don't know.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Well, speaking of Chef Boyardee, that was like my go-to meal as a teenager.
For me, that was my early 20s.
Mine's
my late teens, early 20s
yes.
when I was out on my own. And
yes.
I was like, oh, this is like a dinner in a can.
Oh, yeah.
And now I can have it whenever I want.
Oh, my God. It was so good. Mm-hmm. Like, so good. So, like, I was kind of like, because my parents, like, worked and, like, I basically, I didn't have parenting. Like,
You're a latchkey kid.
I was latchkey, blended family. Like, it was like, good luck. Good luck to you. And I was the youngest, so it was a little bewildering, but whatever. And I was the only girl. So I dealt. But
Adele?
I dealt. I wish I became Adele.
So, Adele.
I just like, I'd come home from school and I'd be like starving or whatever. And you could open a can of Chef Boyardee beef ravioli. Mm-hmm. Stick it in a bowl and microwave it. And that was awesome. That was like comfort. That was
Absolutely.
Like it.
Do you know what I loved? And I would eat them to this day?
Yeah.
SpaghettiOs with meatballs.
See, I think, no. Okay.
What do you mean no?
Because here's the thing about the SpaghettiOs with meatballs.
You're yucking my yuck.
And I ate it. I ate it. But like, to me, like Chef Boyardee beef ravioli, that was the number one. And then like cheese ravioli and then maybe spaghetti. But like, I felt like the SpaghettiOs with meatballs, I felt like the meatballs tasted like Vienna sausages. I'm sorry.
I think that's probably what I liked about them.
Oh, really?
Because they were sugary, they were sweet.
I didn't like it.
The whole thing was
and
weirdly
also,
sweet.
The pasta to meat ratio, way too pasta.
Well, then you of course you hoard your meatballs.
No, that's why the Chef Boyardee beef ravioli was better, because it was all blended. You never had a bite without.
The meat in the meat ravioli to me tasted a little. There was something that was kind of unpleasant about it. Did not stop me eating it.
See, I really liked it. That's so funny.
I know.
That's so funny.
How could two people so opposite
and
make
we like
it work?
the same candy. We like the same candy, which is not typical.
What was your
A lot
favorite?
of people have different candies they like.
It's very true. What was your favorite Halloween candy?
I don't remember. Oh, I know what it was.
Don't remember.
I do know what it was. I'm lying.
Yeah. Why are you lying?
Sweet tarts.
Everything. Out of everything.
Yeah.
Out of all chocolates, everything.
But then you get like your Kit Kat in there and a Snicker. Like, that's fine. But then the Sweet Tarts were like, especially, remember like when Chewy Sweet Tarts came out?
No, I don't. It was a little after my time.
Yes.
I think.
Really? We're like the
so.
same age.
No. Well, we're not really. We are what?
We're
4
years
years
apart.
And that's enough difference.
It's just the slightest amount of difference where like there's a We're the same generation.
Greatest generation.
No. Please. Generation X till I die. Am I right, Xers?
I'll never change generations.
Am I right, Xers? Xers are like amusing to me. Probably because I am one, but like they just are.
It's a funny generation.
It's because we all like wear our like battle scar. We all have this like weird bonding, like trauma bonding. Do you think?
Maybe. That's interesting.
I think we all have like a like it like whenever I see references to Gen X online, I like it just like amuses me because I'm like, yeah. I get it. Like it's such a recognizable
I do
thing.
think like all criticisms of Gen X are funny to me. Which
They're-
I think
but they're
is
never wrong.
Which is in keeping with Gen X.
Don't you think they're kind of not wrong though?
Yeah, I think that's why it's funny to me.
I feel like our generation is probably the most monolithic. Because like any description of Gen X, it like hits the nail on the head.
You can't go wrong.
You really got us. And like
They all have type 2 diabetes. It's true.
it's like, yeah, okay. I just feel like we are so well defined. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm going to hear from other people that are like, I feel alienated from from Gen X. I'm Gen X and I feel I wasn't raised by TV. And I'll be like, okay, that's weird.
You fucking freak.
Because like I thought we were raised by TV.
Oh yeah. I feel very lucky that I was allowed to watch whatever. The only time I ever remember my mother saying we couldn't watch something was, I think it was Psycho was going to be on TV, and I wanted to watch it.
Because it's about a bad mother.
She said it was too.
That movie is scary, though.
That would be so funny.
The shower scene. Come on. It is a scary movie.
She wouldn't let us watch it because it was going to be too scary. But the idea that...
That didn't happen in my house.
I don't want to put ideas in his head. But we were allowed to watch things that other kids were not allowed to watch.
So was I.
Which was very exciting.
I don't understand how there were other kids I knew that weren't allowed to watch anything, because I just feel like blanket across the board, everyone Gen X was like, yeah, my parents were out to lunch.
Well, you know, my nephews, my sister would not let her sons watch The Simpsons when they were little.
Really?
Yes.
They're fine.
They're fine. But it does.
But like, I didn't know The Simpsons had like a thing.
It's funny to be so afraid of a cartoon.
I feel like I feel like TV was my lifeline, and guess what? 2020 TV is still my lifeline.
Yeah, man.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
I have not evolved.
That's
at all.
not true.
I've gotten wrinkles. If that's evolution,
it's
then
evolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, very quickly, I will state my favorite Halloween candy.
Oh, yeah, what was your...
I think...
Oh, and then we have to talk about the worst candy.
I think when I was a kid, I think I liked Milky Ways. I think I told myself I liked Milky Ways, but really when I think about it, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Oh, you love Reese's Peanut Butter
Cups. Which we called Reese's Cups.
Oh, remember? Yeah, Reese's Cup.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. I've said Reese's Pieces. Milky Way, remember they came out with the dark chocolate Milky Way, the midnight?
Milky Way Midnight?
Yes.
For sophisticated people? There was a candy one. Do you remember Toffee Fay?
No.
There was a candy called Toffee Fay that was like a little toffee cup.
Yum.
With like a sort of dark chocolate center maybe.
Yum.
And the commercial was... The idea of the commercial was that it was too good for kids. This was like an adult candy thing. So you get this sleeve of like 5 in a molded plastic tray. You'd get 5 little Toffee Fays.
Wait.
Toffee Fay? What did that even mean?
I feel like we're going to have to look it up on the break.
Toffee Fay, it's too good for kids. That was the jingle.
My mom's favorite...
And of course, as a child, it enraged me.
My mom had a candy bar that used to be her favorite candy bar that was not around anymore, called Forever Yours.
Forever Yours?
So I think that's like an old-timey one. But there was dark chocolate involved, I believe.
Forever Yours?
Yeah.
That's a wild name.
Are Heath bars still around?
As far as I know, yeah. And what's the other one? Score. Is the other
Score.
one, yeah.
Which was
You
better,
can get it at
Score or
IKEA.
Heath? I think I liked Score better.
I think I like Score better too.
Because they were like, it was like very crisp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would like pop off in your mouth. Like you take a bite and
Oh, you get it in your mouth and pop it off.
Okay, worst Halloween candy. Because I know mine.
When I was a kid, I think it was Mounds.
Oh, I've got way worse than that. Mounds is good.
I like
Mounds.
it now. I'd like it now, but I did not as a kid.
Mounds is better than Almond Joy.
I didn't like coconut as a kid. Oh, I liked Almond Joy better because I liked the nut breaking things up a little bit.
I was going to say Circus Peanuts.
Wait, who was giving those out for Halloween?
The fucking adults in my neighborhood when I was a kid.
That's ridiculous.
That's like putting a razor blade in an apple.
I'd rather.
You know, Circus Peanuts are an abomination.
They're absolutely disgusting. And I was a kid. I cured myself of them forever because I ate a whole bag in one sitting.
One Circus Peanut would cure you of them forever.
They were I couldn't, but they were like, I think because they just tasted like pure chemicals, I couldn't stop eating them.
It's weird when I mention them, we're talking about them. I can conjure the flavor.
Oh yeah,
like I can conjure it.
Yeah. What a horrible memory. Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, I think I have to do.
Bless you.
Thank you. I believe my nasal spray has worn off.
People know. I think people might know about our bless you practices in this house.
Say it again for the new listeners.
Hey, newbies.
We might have some new listeners. By the way, when people discover our podcast, I've noticed, at least the ones that engage with us on our socials, stayfhomekins on Instagram and Twitter, and stayfhomekins@gmail.com, they tend to say, oh, I discovered your podcast and I'm almost caught up, as if they start from episode 1.
Yes.
And then get to the current episode,
Yeah.
That's a commitment, and wow, thank you.
I mean, I think we have few enough episodes that is manageable. Like that you could listen to a couple a week.
I feel like I'm drowning. In episodes. Well, like if I saw something that had like 30 episodes, I'd be like, okay, I guess I'll start now. See what happens.
I don't know. I started Two Old Queens, which I've recommended on the show before.
Yes, and you were on that show.
So when I listened to Two Old Queens, I really liked it. And then I started, they were like at around where we were now. And so I was listening to the ones that would come out new, and then I would also listen to old ones. So I listened to like a few a week.
Because they're not like super topical. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. And I eventually got caught up.
And are they they're still putting them out regularly?
So I'm caught up, and now I'm current.
Oh,
with the show.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That people come. Well, I feel like it's time for our break because I did want to mention something topical, but I don't want to do it before the break. I want to do it after the break.
Honey, that's a great tease. So we're going to take
we'll
a break.
We'll be back in 2 seconds because we don't have an ad.
When we return in 2 seconds, something topical. More when Stay Homekins returns.
Hi,
we're back.
You know what's so funny is it's going to sound like nothing happened, like we barely left and came back because we don't have an ad this week, but we full on ate dinner in the middle.
We had an entire dinner. Gang, we had an entire dinner. Separate plates.
Yeah, because
separate entrees.
Our delivery arrived contactless.
I might add.
It was on the porch. And then we went to town.
Do you think that the delivery people enjoy? We got a nice message from a mail carrier who said that they liked the candy cane lane.
I know. Thank you for that. They were on my side about it. They were like, thank you.
Obviously, I'm not against you since I set up the fucking candy cane lane. But we have
the skulls.
Skulls.
The skull head. They look like Pez dispensers.
Solar skulls. They're great.
They do look like Pez dispensers.
I love them so much.
They should just be full-on Pez dispensers.
Honey, I feel like you're undercutting the scariness of the skulls by saying they look like Pez dispensers.
Thematically, back to candy, Pez sucks as a candy.
Oh, it's terrible. It was just the experience. It was the experience of you have this thing. It looks like a thing that you like.
That's right.
You open
and
it, it's
a
all process.
And the dispenser.
Yes.
And it would push it out.
Yeah. Then you could load new candy in there.
How could they mess up that candy so bad, though?
Oh, I think they knew exactly what
Also,
they were
how
doing.
was the candy old to begin with?
Did you see?
Did they? I know what it was. I have an idea. They made this candy. It was terrible. And they were like, no one's eating this fucking candy. And then it sat in a warehouse for 10 years. And then some young upstart in the family said, y'all.
Y'all. Going to get up some trouble in the candy factory tonight.
Y'all, what are we going to do with those Pez? We can't just pay to store it for another 10 years. And they're like, that's your problem. And then he was like, I got it. We'll come up with these fun toy that sticks it out like a tongue or whatever.
Like a tongue.
And so
comes right out of the neck.
Whatever. And so they like moved all the stale candy. They moved it in droves.
I have to share with you.
I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
This is a tweet that our friend Casey St. Ange posted last week.
Mm-hmm. Was it a Pez? Was it
no,
a Pez?
No. Why would you?
I'm just wondering, was it?
Do you think I'm not going to tell you?
I don't know. Like you're taking as long as the Pez sat in the warehouse. The Pez sat in the warehouse.
You posted this a week ago. Which were you least excited to find in your plastic pumpkin after a night of trick or treat? And it's 4 pictures.
Okay.
One is an apple with a razor blade in the middle. One is a fucking used syringe.
Uh-huh.
One is toothbrushes. And then the last thing is Necco wafers.
It's a tie between toothbrush and Necco wafers.
No, it's not.
Necco wafers.
No, you're... She's not serious.
No, I get it. Sort of. I'm saying...
You're...
What? What are you doing?
You're undermining the joke of it. The joke, obviously, the worst thing you could get is the actual
Necco
candy.
wafer.
Yes.
I get it. Okay.
It's a tie.
I thought I was really supposed to...
No!
Okay.
See, all the time that you accused me of wasting, if you'd read my face, you would see the delight. And that I was about to reveal a wonderful... humorous tweet.
Necco wafers are bullshit.
They're horrible.
You know what? Pez are better than Necco wafers.
See, this is what made me think of it is, are they the same thing? Are they made by the same
No,
company?
there's more chalk in Necco wafers. Like, you could write with Necco wafers. Don't you think? You could do art on the sidewalk with Necco wafers.
Cracking yourself.
All right. So I was going to mention my topical observation.
Yes.
Am I allowed now?
Oh, don't do this, straw man.
Straw person.
You know what, honey? Good catch.
Oh, by the way, like, it took me a long time to understand straw man, like what it meant and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I only kind of understand it. I don't use the word much unless I'm really using it.
Hey, if you're going to use it, really use it.
It means like it's this other thing, but it's really this thing. That's what it means.
It's a false argument.
Okay. My argument is nothing. I just want to make an observation.
Okay.
Okay. So, first of all, I figured there was the final presidential debate before the election last night. And I just figured, like, you did not want to watch it because you've been, like, so kind of burnt out on the process.
Yeah,
understandably so.
Because it did seem like I am not an undecided voter.
We've already voted.
We've already voted. I
right.
I can't stand listening to Trump.
So
I was like, well, what is the point? It's not even fun. Like if I thought that Biden was going to just trounce him,
right,
and destroy him, that would have been
enjoyable.
like in debates past,
right.
But Donald Trump ruins everything.
Oh, everything he touches.
So I didn't want to.
Everything he touches.
So I did not
every
watch
person he comes into contact with.
Yes.
Okay, so
I didn't watch the first one. Then they canceled the second one.
Honestly, the first one that you didn't watch was good because I watched it and it was a total shit show.
Yeah.
And it was like embarrassing for the world, like.
Yeah.
And then the second one were the town halls, and we didn't watch, and that was fine because who cares? And then the third one, I was like, I don't know. And then I was taking a shower, and then I come out of the shower, and Paul was watching the debate, and I was like, oh, interesting, because you had said it's not going to happen at one point.
I after they canceled the second one, I was like, well, why would they bother? Why would they bother doing a third one if they couldn't get on the same page about the second one? Then and also, what are we doing?
Right. Well, anyway, so like we're watching it or whatever, and honestly, it was like whatever. And so here was my observation: is that, and I think I've brought this up on the podcast before, is like I follow supposedly in my liberal bubble that I live in, my progressive bubble, like the wokest, people supposedly on the planet, like hashtags or avatars like Black Lives Matter, Black, whatever, like all, whatever, like totally aware social justice causes, blah, blah, blah. Then I go online on my Twitter, like after the debate, and all of these like supposedly progressive, woke people I follow are like the most ageist, like that old fart needs to be wheeled off and dumped in the ocean or what, like back in the nursing home. And
talking about Joe Biden,
both of them.
Oh, both of them, yeah.
Like those dinosaurs need to be like put out the pasture with the cows or whatever. And I'm like, okay, why don't y'all like actually like attack the thing that you don't like about them,
right?
Rather than this thing that no one can control, like their appearance or their voice or their color of the skin or their age or their weight, the things that supposedly y'all are so goddamn sensitive over. Mm-hmm. But that's the one pass they give themselves. And like, granted, I'm very politically incorrect in private circles.
I think you're exaggerating that a little bit, but
well, that makes me sound like I'm like
exactly.
What's his name? The puppet guy. What's his name?
Jeff Dunham.
Dunham. like.
Here's what I'll say though about the age thing, and I agree with you that.
And I agree, but here's the thing: yes, vote for younger people, but.
No, that's not.
Okay,
that's not what I was going to say.
I'm about to go.
Here's all I'm going to say about ageism: vote for younger people.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with.
I think that people
fresh.
The problem is with online is that everyone just likes to dunk on people, and so everyone's looking to go viral with like their fucking like epic dunk tweet, whatever. Right. There is something though about both of them being so old. That is a bummer to me.
Yes.
That
yes.
On the one hand, yes, I would like. It would be great if someone a little bit younger and more modern were one of the choices. lead
Yes.
to lead the nation.
Right, like if Kamala were the main versus the vice.
Kamala.
What
are you doing? What
I'm
are you,
very
them?
No.
But and the other part of it for me is, man, I like the idea of being a man, right?
Uh-huh.
To be in your 70s and still thinking, I got to be in charge of everything. I got to do it. It drives me nuts.
But that's not ageism necessarily. Here's the thing, because like I'll see Betty White and I'll be like, oh my God, like I want to work. I want to be Betty White. Like I want to work until I.
It's a totally different thing, of course.
And then I'm like, you go, girl, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, but that's not. But you understand what I'm saying.
I get it. Because wanting to lead the most, richest country in the world,
wanting to have power.
That is a singular thing. That is a different mentality. Why are you laughing? What were you looking at me?
The way your microphone contorts over the course of the episode.
I have a relationship with it.
You sure do.
Yeah. A double cuckoo episode?
Oh my God. Well, because of the dinner.
Oh yeah. And also I'm about to get real up into the second weekend one. I got a second weekend. Okay. So which we have an exciting announcement at the end. Anyway, but my point isn't even about the ageism. It's about who the ageism is coming from. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if it's like someone who's a little irreverent and like, whatever this or that, then I get it. But these are a particular subset of people.
I completely understand.
Yes.
Yes.
That are very overt about their sort of progressive-ness.
And scolding other people for not being progressive.
And then they will like turn on a dime.
Yeah.
And then and I think ageism is actually number one, it's horrible because if we're all lucky and healthy, we're all going to become old, right?
Yeah.
So we're all going to be at the butt of this eventually if we don't die whatever before. But I think it's sort of sick how we talk about old people in America. I don't think they are that way in other countries. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think ageism is a near universal problem. And I agree. I do feel though I think running for president is the one fucking exception where.
But talk about the reasons why you don't.
No, I know. You're right.
Like somebody can be 87 and totally look. Dr. Fauci is not 43.
What?
And he
I just lost a bet.
Runs every day, and he's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And he's like in his 70s. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, like, not everyone ages the same way, and there are problems. Like,
well, it's like when people make fun of Trump for his appearance, and it's like that's
who cares?
That's an easy thing.
He could look
and
amazingly gorgeous, and I'd still hate his guts.
It is the last problem that we need to concern ourselves with. But it is. I get the instinct of wanting to, and of course, privately.
Well, you recoil.
Redo it.
You recoil at his existence because he's not like this gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Like he could. Here's the thing. Like it's looks are funny too because people can have like wonderful personalities that overcome like distasteful looks and vice versa. You can have distasteful personality that overcomes your good. That's just a strange phenomenon, in a way. But yeah, you shouldn't like if your disapproval of the person is because of what they stand for, it has nothing to do with anything.
Yes.
Other than what they stand for.
Yes. And but it is because he's such a hateful person, it is of course understandable.
He evokes a lot of emotion.
To do that.
Yeah.
Yes. Because he's anyway. Ugh.
No, I mean like in private, as I said.
Yes.
But I'm saying like to go online and like put that out in the world, like I don't know what you're signaling about yourself.
Yeah.
In a way. Because, like, if I went online and I'm like, oh, so-and-so is so ugly or, you know, da-da-da-da-da, like, it reflects badly on the person, you know? Yeah. Just like his racism reflects badly on him as a person.
Yeah.
It's so ugly. What we're recoiling at or what we're reacting to is much more about who he is inside.
He's a hateful person who just happens to look like an extremely hateful person.
He's a hateful person that looks very strange.
Okay. Do you want to know why I was watching the debate? Which you didn't ask me.
I didn't ask you. I just, when I came
in,
I said, I'm
surprised,
just surprised.
But you didn't say why.
Wait, I think I did ask you on the night, and I think you had said something along the lines of that you wanted. Am I wrong, or am I projecting?
I don't know. You didn't finish the sentence.
That you wanted to kind of like see what happens in real time instead of like wait to see what people said.
No, I was morbidly curious about the mute button.
Oh, the mute button,
which never got used.
Well, they did follow the rules.
They followed the rules until the end, and then they were just interrupting each other.
Right.
You know, like a normal debate.
Which is how debates tend to.
Yes, exactly. But that was why. I wanted to see him get muted and see what his reaction was going to be.
I thought the debate was the most. It was very predictable. There was nothing.
Of course. There's no There's. Like, the idea that we're still doing debates is fucking ridiculous.
Also, these are not people that we have not been in the public sphere. Like, we know who these people are.
Yes.
There's absolutely no surprise. Like, you know, if it was someone kind of fresh on the opposing side, the Democrat side, then you might have a little like, oh, I wonder what they're going to say about this topic that they've never really discussed in a debate format before.
I'm Ken Bone. I would like to hear this.
But
I've got my sweater on.
Yeah. I still am sort of like in a state of confusion about the country and the dividedness and how does the country overcome something like that?
Well, I mean, yeah.
We are a very heterogeneous, very large country, very populated, very with a lot of,
Yeah, the problem is that we won't agree on what is wrong with the country, and there's a segment of the population that doesn't want to acknowledge that anything is wrong with the country, and that the only thing wrong with the country is people that think there's something wrong with the country.
Most people don't pay attention. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
That there's like the the majority of the country does not engage in this.
But I'm not even talking about like current events. I'm talking about our history, and we're not even in agreement on our history, and that's a big problem in our present.
Which is kind of weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was taught a whitewashed history, but I still understand that it was a whitewashed history.
Yeah.
Like I've seen other real versions of it.
And we went to religious schools where, like, you would think that part of discussing slavery would be like
a Christian
the
thing.
Moral aspect of it.
Yes, a Christian thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was discussed, but not. I mean, the reality of it is very hard to teach, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and now they're getting better at figuring out how to bring that into. It doesn't matter. I'm just, my whole point about the debate was a snooze fest, and however that I just thought that whole thing about people who are so
I understand
above it all.
I get it.
We're like, you know, put Grandpa in a stroller and wheel him out to the wake him up for his early bird special, and then I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Like, come on, y'all. It was the hackiest situation. I'm like, come on. Can't you talk about the fucking substance of it?
Yeah. Can we tell the story of doing the video for Kate's birthday?
Oh, yeah. And by the way, I have the reaction video in my email right now that I would like to watch with you, but I couldn't because I was gone all day.
Yes, we'll watch it after the podcast.
So I guess there's like this app now where if someone's having a birthday, I forgot the name of it. Do you remember the name of it?
Birthday app?
No.
I don't remember, no.
Anyway, it's awesome. We'll post it or whatever. But it's like, you know, so my friend Kate, her husband Remy, sent this invitation like through the app that was like, I'm putting together this birthday montage for Kate. And I would like to invite you to post a video or whatever you want. And then the app, I guess, puts it all in a package. So
yes,
I just
all you have to do is you record your video, and then
it's
the
awesome.
app stitches it all together. Yeah, it's a neat idea.
Truly. All right, you two can take. I just wanted to set it up.
So we download the app, and we're ready to make the video. It's just us sitting on the couch, and we're gonna say whatever. And the lighting is bad.
Terrible.
Like, it's really bad. And we're like, okay, let's try. We have these smart lights, so we're trying to first give vocal commands, which was absolutely insane, maddening. Then we're trying to do it physically, and it still looks bad. We moved to a different place.
And then there was like whole like, okay, do you want me to hold the phone or do you want to hold the phone?
Yeah.
Because like your arm is longer. You know,
we're getting frustrated.
We're like
we're getting testy.
on the verge of having a big fight.
Like we're both really annoyed at this point. And then
we had to take a break. We had to take a break.
We had to take a break from it. Yeah, that's right. We did take a break from it.
Because at one point I think I was like, ah, and then you're like, why don't we take a break? And then whatever. Keep going.
I don't remember how we discovered it. I don't remember if you suggested it or if I asked you. But the problem with the lighting was that you had the brightness on your phone turned way down.
Who has their brightness turned up ever? Ever. Do y'all go around with your brightness turned up? Ever. Ever. Also, I live in dark mode. Paul lives in fucking bright mode on his phone. I'm like, what is this? Okay, boomer.
So when we finally figured that out, it became a much easier process.
At one point, we moved to a different part of the house.
Yeah.
To the table.
Yeah.
And then...
Which, of course, you're never supposed to go to a second location. Everyone knows this.
Oprah told us. And then we moved it, and I was like, this is better. And you're like, it's still dark. And I was like, wait, let me turn my phone up. And then you lost your mind. You're like, wait a minute. He's like, you couldn't breathe. He was laughing so hard. He's like, your thing was turned down the whole time. We had almost we almost came to blows.
We almost came to blows.
Blows over it.
We almost came to
did
blows.
My backhand to Paul with my white when I'm wearing my white.
We
beard.
squared off. We had our fists in the air. We stripped to the waist. I waxed my mustache.
Yeah. We made the video. We got it in on time. And now I have the reaction video of Kate that we haven't watched.
Yes. That's part of this app too, right? Is that it
sends you the
records.
reaction.
Yeah.
To the video. Genius. Because you can't be with your loved one. Number one, she lives in Minnesota. Number two, it's COVID.
Hey, don't lecture people. We can't be there, you idiots.
I think it's called montage. I might be wrong. I think it's called montage.
We'll find out. We'll find out for you.
Yeah. Anyway, it's brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
We used props and everything.
We did.
Yeah.
I hope on our video the reaction is better. Here's the problem. And I'm going to warn you right now.
Oh, okay.
Kate and Remy have a lot of really advanced friends, advanced creative.
They're from the future.
They they're from a group of very high functioning situation going on. So I'm just going to lower my expectations now on our video in comparison to the other videos.
Wait, so for the reaction video, will we see the whole video, or will we
I
just see
think
Kate's
we
reaction?
might get to see all of it because in the little thumbnail, I saw like the grid of all the videos, and I saw where ours was in the grid, which was like buried in the middle.
We will have been forgotten for sure.
Which will like.
Did you see that lighting?
No.
A car went by and lit up it backlit the skeleton on our porch, and you could see his ribs.
Fucking scary.
It is scary. Sometimes there are shadows on those two little skinny window panes, and it really freaks me out.
Those are called sidelight windows.
Sidelight windows. Yes. Thank you, honey.
They're frosted though. No one can see
and
them.
one's put in backwards.
Yeah, I'm pissed about that. That's a whole situation. Because one side's like glossy and one side's like
matte.
Matte, yeah. And they're like flipped. I don't know who put them in.
Somebody who, hey, you want it done fast, want it done right. And they went with the fast person.
You get
what you pay for. All right, we should wrap it up.
Really? Are we there already?
Yeah.
Wait, but we have that exciting announcement.
Yes, now's the time to...
Just pretend like that. God, you don't have to blow it.
How did I blow it?
Fucking choke artist over there.
What's that, Donald Trump?
Is that what he says?
He choked like a dog. He said that about Mitt Romney. He said he was a choke artist. Choke artist.
I'll give him that one. You know what? I'll give him that one because that's a good one.
I remember my brother Mark, after this happened, posted on Facebook. This is about one of the last times I looked at Facebook, I think.
Oh yeah, you're not on Facebook.
He said, all the details aside, I like people who don't get captured is a pretty funny thing to say.
It's kind of ridiculous.
It's absurd. Anyway,
wait. I just remembered.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you something on the podcast, and I don't want to
remarry you.
No, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
It occurred to me this week, and I wanted to know if you've ever wished for someone to die and they died.
No. I'm a human being, so of course I've had the idle thought, I wish that person were dead. But no, it's never.
The question isn't, have you ever wished someone who died? Because that's I'm just going to assume every human being. Like,
well, you know my story with that commercial director. The commercial casting person.
Oh, the casting person.
Yes.
Yes. That was bizarre.
So mean to me.
Yes.
So rude.
Yes.
And then died.
But you didn't wish.
I wished I was not there.
This is a brief
that was the extent
encounter.
of my wish.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, have you ever wished death on a specific person and then the wish of their death came true?
The way you're asking me this makes it feel like you have a different answer than I do.
I don't.
Okay.
I do. I don't know your answer.
My answer is no.
Would you tell me?
Sure. Yeah, I'd tell you. I mean, because that would be... if that happened, I think I would have told you, I think, by now.
Would you have guilt about it? Like, I wish them to die.
Probably, yeah.
And then they wouldn't die?
Probably.
Here's the thing. Wishing someone dead, I think it's kind of overrated because...
This isn't the exciting announcement, by the way.
This is not. I just had...
This is just bonus content.
I wanted to ask you because I thought about it.
But... Why?
Because I'm curious, like, there's got to be someone out there that wished someone would die and they died.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
And I bet it's terrible.
I'm sure that it
terrible.
is.
I bet it's not
sure.
I bet it's not like, oh my God, I got my wish.
But no, there's also that person too. For
really?
sure. There's that. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. And you know what? That person might be justified depending on the situation. There are people
that's true.
There are people that are in abusive relationships or abusive parents,
I guess
whatever.
I'm thinking more lofty, like someone bad in the world. Like you wish someone bad in the world, like, God, I wish they'd die.
I wish we could come up with a specific example. Anyway, let's get into our exciting news.
Okay.
We got some more merch coming.
Oh my God.
We're very excited. Finally, we got Weekend Water shirts.
Weekend Water mugs, y'all.
Weekend Water mugs.
And some Weekend Water stickers.
That's right.
All at kinshipgoods.com.
We will post pictures on Instagram of the new designs.
Kinshipgoods.com is your official Stay of Homekins podcast merch location.
That's right. And we are loving seeing people are sending us pictures of themselves in the shirts, and they're saying how soft the shirts are.
People are not just saying like, oh, I'm glad I got my shirt or glad I got my merch. They're saying like, this is like cozy. I want to be in this, you know, like I want to be. But also, in addition to the official podcast merch, some people also are buying items from their other e-commerce store because they have like so many cool
Kinship Goods is great.
Shirts and stuff like that. So people are like sending pictures and they're like, and I also bought this Vote t-shirt or, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they'll wear it to the polls or whatever. So it's all been it's a great collaboration actually.
Yes, we're
like,
very
kind
happy
of like
about
a marriage. It's like our marriage. It was made in heaven.
Oh, honey. That's so sweet.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, which is where Kinship Goods is located.
Mountain Mama.
So please go check it out.
Go check that stuff out.
Because it's going to launch, I think it's going to launch tonight or tomorrow.
I believe so.
Yes.
Any recommendations for people?
Wow. There was a recommendation we neglected to mention, I think.
Oh, interesting.
Wasn't there? A listener recommended Staged on Hulu, and we enjoyed it.
Yes, we did. With Michael Sheen and David Tennant.
David Tennant and Michael Sheen. And it's like a Zoom show, and it's only 6 episodes, but it's like, it's very pleasant watching.
Yes, it is. It's done really well, and they're both, you know, like extremely charming.
Charming, yes.
And it's a lot of fun.
And I just started, thanks to my friend Paige. She told me to start this new true crime podcast called Tom Brown's Body, and I just got into it, and it's pretty compelling stuff.
All right.
And I do hope the mystery gets solved by the end of the podcast, but sometimes you don't know, and you start the podcast, and it's because they want to solve the mystery because it's not solved yet.
Exactly.
And then you have to like live through that whole thing.
Yes.
But what I really want is at the end, then they're like, and we caught the bad hombre.
Yeah, exactly.
The bad, yeah.
Bad hombres. I want to recommend, of course, Freedom is back. It's free. Comes out every Thursday. Wherever you get your podcasts. Honey, that's exactly how it goes.
Freedom!
The Neighborhood Listen. There's still some episodes of season 2 left of The Neighborhood Listen. That's also free wherever you get your podcasts. Some live shows coming up. Thursday the 29th. Doing is that right? Thursday the 29th? Yes, right?
That's Thursday is the 29th, but I don't know when you're doing your thing.
I'm asking you if Thursday is the 29th.
Oh, okay.
Asked and answered. A live reading of Plan 9 from Outer Space with a great cast. I've done this show before. This is Dana Gould puts this on every once in a while. Hilarious comedian Dana Gould. It is a live script reading of the notorious Ed Wood terrible movie. And it's a lot of fun, and we're doing that live through San Francisco Sketch Fest, Thursday the 29th. Then on Halloween night, we're doing a live Thrilling Adventure Hour. It's all beyond belief. Me and Padgett Brewster as Frank and Sadie Doyle. That is going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, Lapkus and Tompkins, me and Lauren Lapkus doing another live streaming show Monday, the November 2nd, election eve.
No, November 2nd is November 3rd is election day?
That's exactly right, honey.
Okay.
November 3rd is Election Day, so November 2nd.
Okay. Monday.
We will be doing our show
the Monday
Monday.
night before, which might be a good distraction for people if they're
right?
feeling a little anxious.
We're going to be feeling a little anxious, so why don't you do that with us? Watch us be anxious instead of you feeling anxious. And I also want to shout out a podcast.
Really quick, can you tell our listeners how to find tickets to...
All of those ticket links are available at paulftompkins.com/live. Thank you, honey.
Okay.
Yeah. And a podcast that I started listening to that I really enjoy, a new podcast called My Mama Told Me, hosted by Langston Kerman. It is the very funny comedian Langston Kerman, also a talented actor, also handsome, which is
British? Because that
annoying.
sounds very British.
He does sound British. He's not. He's American as you or I.
Do you know him?
I've met him on a couple occasions. He's very funny.
Okay.
And this podcast he welcomes fellow black comedians on the show to talk about urban legends that they were told when they were kids.
Oh, that's cute.
It's
That's
so
really cute.
funny. Some of the stories are so crazy. Carl Tart, who's a buddy of mine, was on there recently, and he had been told when he was a kid not to eat spaghetti that's cooked by. If you're dating a woman and she makes you spaghetti and you didn't see her cook it,
Yeah.
don't eat it because she might put some of her menstrual blood in it to control you. It's stuff like that.
The fuck?
It's so, and then they research, they talk about it, they research it.
Wait, that sounds like a good podcast that could become like an animated show or something.
100%.
Like if somebody out there...
100%. It would be hilarious.
I did want to save it for next week.
Interesting.
About projects.
Okay. We'll leave it there because I don't know what you mean.
No, I did. When we started tonight, like a couple days ago, I was like, oh, we need to talk about that situation on the podcast. What is great about saving it for next week is there could be new developments before next week.
That's great. I won't ask any more questions until we're safely off mic. Thank you all for listening.
I'm just so excited about our new merch.
I know. It really looks great, and
other people
we're so happy to be working with Kinship
gotten
Goods.
their merch. I'm like, I can't believe it's out in the world. It feels like unreal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is unreal.
Yeah.
We're in a dream. It's a simulation. We're in a simulation.
I want to be in a different simulation.
All right. That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you listening. We're at Stay of Homekins at Stay of Homekins on Twitter and Instagram. stayofhomekins@gmail.com if you want to email us.
And we do look at everything.
Yes, we do.
I mean, so far we haven't been, like it's not.
We haven't stopped yet.
Well, it hasn't been like I get 100,000 fan letters a week. It's more like 10.
I mean, this is not a plea for 100,000 fan letters a week. We're just saying we look at everything.
We're saying we're still on the front line.
Yes, we're essential workers as far as our own podcast is concerned. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week. Until then, stay safe, stay sane, and stay home.